Okay, January the 21st. Genesis 42:18 through 43:34. Then Joseph said to them, to his brothers, on the third day, do this and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers be confined to you, to your prison home. But you go and carry grain for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. Then they said to one another, we are truly guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we would not hear. Therefore, his distress has come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, did I not speak to you, saying, do not sin against the boy, and you would not listen? Therefore, behold, his blood is now required of us. But they did not know that Joseph understood them, for they spoke, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. And he turned himself away from them and wept. Then he returned to them again and talked with them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph gave a command to fill their sacks with grain, to restore the man's money in his sack, and to give them provisions for their journey. Thus he did for them. So they loaded their donkeys with their grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey feed at the encampment, he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said to his brother, my money has been restored, and there it is in my sack. Then their hearts failed them. They were afraid, saying to one another, what is this that God has done to us? Then they went to Jacob, their father, in the land of Canaan, and told him all that happened to them, saying, this man who is Lord of the land spoke roughly to us and took us for spies of the country. But we said to him, we are honest men, and we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father this day in the land of Canaan. Then the Lord of our country, said to us, the Lord of the country said to us, by this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for the famine of your households and be gone, and bring your youngest brother to me. So I shall know that you are not spies, but that you are honest men. I will grant your brother to you, and you may trade in my land. Then it happened as they encamped their sacks, surprisingly, each man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob, their father, said to them, you have bereaved me. Joseph is no more, Simeon is no more, and you want to take Benjamin. All these things are against me. Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, kill my two sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you. But he said, my son shall not go down with you, for your brother is dead, and he is left alone. If any calamity should befall upon him along the way in which you go, then you should bring down my gray head with sorrows to the grave. Now the famine was severe in the land, and it came to pass they had eaten up the grain which they had brought from Egypt, that their father said to them, go back, buy us a little food. But Judah spoke to him, saying, the man solemnly warned us, saying, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. And Israel said, why do you deal so wrongfully with me, as to tell the man whether you still had another brother? But they said, the man asked us pointedly about ourselves and our family, saying, is your father still alive? Have you another brother? And we told him according to these words. Could we possibly have known that he would say, bring your brother down? Then Judah said to Israel his father, send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that you may live and not die, both we and you, also our little ones. I myself will be surety for him. From my hand you shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For if the lad had not, for if we had not lingered, surely by now we would have returned the second time. And their father Israel said to them, if it must be so, Then do this. Take some of the best fruits of the land in your vessels and carry it down as a present for the man, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, pistachio nuts and almonds. Take double money in your hand and take back in your hand the money which that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take your brother also and arise, go back to the man, and may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your other brother and Benjamin. If I am bereaved, I am bereaved. So the men took the present and the Benjamin, and they took double money in their hand and arose and went down to Egypt. And they stood before Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, take these men to my house and slaughter an animal and make ready, for these men will dine with me at noon. Then the man did as Joseph ordered, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. Now the men were afraid because they were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, it is because of the money which was returned in our sacks the first time that we were brought in, so that he might make a case against us and seize us, to take us as slaves with our own donkeys. When they drew near to the steward of Joseph's house, they talked with him at the door of the house and said, oh, sir, we indeed came down the first time to buy food, but it happened when we came to the encampment that we opened our sacks, and there each man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. So we have brought it back in our hand, and we have brought down other money in our hand to buy food. We do not know who put the money in our sacks. But he said, peace be to you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. Then he brought Simeon out to them. So the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water, and and they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys feed. Then he made the then they made a present ready for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that he would eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down before the earth. Then he asked them about their well-being, and he said, is your father well, the old man of whom you spoke? Is he still alive? And they answered, your servant our father is in good health. He is still alive. And they bowed their heads down and prostrated themselves. Then he lifted his eyes and he saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son. And he said, is this your younger brother whom you spoke to me? And they said, God be gracious to you, my son. Then he said, God be gracious to you, my son. Now his heart yearned for his brother. So Joseph made haste and sought somewhere to weep. And he went into his chamber and wept there. When he had washed his face, he came out and restrained himself, saying, serve the bread. And they sat, and so he set him in a place by himself, and them by themselves, as the Egyptians who ate with him, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because Egyptians could not eat food with Hebrews, for it is an abomination to Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, to the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked in astonishment at one another. Then he took servings from before him, but Benjamin's serving was 5 times as much as theirs. So they drank and were merry with him. Matthew 13:47 through 14:12. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet, which was cast into the sea and gathered some of every kind, which when it was full, he drew to the shore. They sat down and gathered the good into vessels and threw the bad away. So it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come forth, separate the wicked from among the just, and cast them into the furnace of fire. There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Jesus said to them, have you understood all these things? And they said to him, yes, Lord. Then he said to them, therefore, every scribe instructed concerning the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings out of his treasure things of new and old. Now it came to pass when Jesus had finished these parables that he departed from there. When he had come into his own country, he taught in their synagogue. So they were astonished and said, where did this man get his wisdom and these mighty works? Is this not the carpenter's son? Is he not is not his mother called Mary, and his brothers James and Joseph, Simeon and Judas, and his sisters, are they not all with us? Where then did this man get these things? So they were offended by him. But Jesus said to him, a prophet is not without honor except in his own country and his own house. Now he did not do many mighty works there because of their unbelief. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard the report about Jesus and said to his servant, this is John the Baptist. He has risen from the dead, and therefore these powers are at work in him. For Herod had laid hold of John, bound him, and put him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, because John had said to him, it is not lawful for you to have her. And although he wanted to put him to death, he feared the multitude because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was celebrated, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Therefore, he promised with an oath to give her whatever she might ask. So she, having been prompted by her mother, said, give me John the Baptist's head on a platter. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, because of oaths and because of those who sat with him, he commanded it to be given to her. So he sent and had John beheaded in prison. Then and his head was brought on a platter and given to the girl, and she brought it to her mother. Then his disciples came and took away his body and buried it and went and told Jesus. Psalms 18:16 through 36. He sent from above. He took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me, from those who were too strong for me. They confronted me in the days of my calamity. But the Lord was my support. He also brought me out into a broad place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands. He has recompensated me. Recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and I have not wickedly departed from my God. For all of his judgments were before me. I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also blameless before him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore, the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands in his sight. With your merciful, with the merciful, you will show me your merciful. With the blameless man, you shall show yourself blameless. With the pure, you shall show yourself pure. With the devious, you shall show yourself shrewd. For you will save the humble people, but you will bring down the haughty looks. For you will light my lamp. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by you I can run against a troop. By my God I can leap over a wall. As for God, his ways are perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who trust in him. For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? It is God who arms me with strength and makes my ways perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He sets me in on my high places. He teaches my hands to make war so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me a shield of your salvation. Your right hand has held me up. Your gentleness has made me great. Then you enlarged my path under me so my feet did not slip. Proverbs 4:7 through 10. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her. She will place on your head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory she will deliver to you. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. Okay, we'll see y'all tomorrow.